A chill wind swept through the empty lot. 5 figures lay sprawled, dazed and disoriented, beneath the single, flickering street lamp. No shouts, no struggle, just the bewildered silence of men who couldn't explain what had just happened. The woman was gone. Near the curb, a small 3-pointed metal star glinted faintly. A silent signature left on a very bad night. The diner hummed with the tired glow of fluorescent lights, a lonely island on Highway 70. Truckers slumped over coffee, their faces etched with miles. 2 waitresses drifted between tables, their movements slow, practiced, echoing the late hour. A cook, hidden behind the counter, flipped burgers with the dull clatter of metal. She entered without a sound, a ghost in practical, dark clothes. Her worn jeans spoke of movement, her sturdy boots hinted at rough terrain. No shine, no sparkle, just a plain, dark band circled one wrist, barely noticeable. Heads didn't turn, voices didn't pause. She moved with a quiet efficiency, not trying to be invisible, just existing. Her steps took her to the back, choosing a corner booth. From there, her eyes took in every face, every exit, without a flicker of obvious interest. She ordered simply, water, no frills, and eggs with toast. Every bite was methodical, unrushed. She ate, observing the quiet rhythm of the diner, a silent presence. When done, cash changed hands, no small talk, no lingering, just a simple transaction, leaving no trace. 5 men owned the counter, their laughter too loud for the late hour. They were locals, comfortable in their chairs, their voices carrying the casual confidence of those who believe they know everyone and everything around them. One, a big man, his t-shirt stretched tight, boasted about some local skirmish, his words laced with a crude arrogance. They surveyed the room, their eyes scanning, lingering on the lone woman. She was new here, an outsider, a quiet figure in their familiar landscape. They saw her, alone, in a place they considered their own. An easy target, they thought, unwary, just passing through. Their whispers began, low and sharp, filled with predatory amusement. They watched her, their eyes tracing her movements, already making plans, already certain of the night's unfolding. She remained a picture of calm, finishing her meal, oblivious to their gaze, or so they believed. A low chuckle rumbled from the counter as she rose. "Look at that," a voice drawled, loud enough to drift across the diner. Easy target, walking out alone. Another man, his grin wide and unsettling, added, "She has no idea what kind of place this is." The words were designed to hit, to make her flinch, to show her they were watching. She didn't. Her back remained straight, her pace steady, heading for the rear exit. The men at the counter moved as one, a casual ripple of dark shirts and heavy boots. They didn't rush, not yet. This was a practiced dance, a slow, confident stalk. They followed, their footsteps light, almost unnoticeable over the diner's low hum. Each step was calculated, a subtle closing of the gap. They thought they were invisible in the dim lighting, masters of the shadows. Their eyes never left her, tracking her every move, the anticipation building in them. "She parked around back," a whisper carried, laced with smug satisfaction. Probably thought it was a shortcut. They knew the layout of this isolated spot. Every shadow, every blind spot. They knew the back alley was perfect. No cameras, just a single, flickering fluorescent bulb casting weak, unreliable light. A rusty dumpster sat like a hulking beast, and a chain-link fence promised to block any desperate dash for freedom. It was their territory, their stage, for what they planned. As she reached the narrow opening leading outside, they quickened their pace, closing the final distance. The air grew thick with their intent, a heavy, silent pressure. Their faces, now closer, showed a chilling mix of arrogance and hunger. They had her boxed in. The fence behind her, 5 large men in front. This was it. The moment they had been waiting for, a predictable end to an unexpected night. They moved with the systematic confidence of predators, absolutely certain of their numbers, their strength, their victory. They believed she was simply caught, unaware and utterly helpless. 3 minutes, that's all it took. The alley's old security camera, typically a reliable eye, blinked out. Just a sudden, unexplained darkness where its feed should have been. The diner's cook, stirring gravy inside, heard a single dull thump, a sound like something heavy, but muffled, hitting the ground. It wasn't the kind of prolonged struggle a group of 5 men against 1 woman should make. Then, a strange quiet descended, deeper than the usual night sounds, the kind of silence that feels unnatural. The moment the 3 minutes were up, odd flashes of light danced across the diner's back wall. Headlights, but moving in strange, disjointed patterns, as if a vehicle was being spun in place without actually being driven. When the first sirens wailed, responding to a hushed call from a waitress, the scene paramedics found made no sense. 2 of the men were draped over the hood of a dusty sedan, a car that belonged to none of them. They lay there, not fallen, but seemingly placed. A 3rd man was curled by the rusty dumpster, gripping his stomach, his face green. He moaned, incoherent words tumbling out, unable to make sense of what had just happened. The biggest man, the one with the loud mouth, was tied fast to a metal support pole with industrial-strength zip ties. His shoes were gone. He shivered uncontrollably, not from cold, but from a deep, body-shaking terror. The 5th man, though conscious, refused all medical help. He just wanted to go home, his eyes wide and vacant, ignoring any talk of police reports or charges. None of them could explain how they ended up like this. No consistent story, no clear description of what hit them. "She moved like a blur," one whispered, his voice hoarse with disbelief. "Never a sound," another added, his eyes still wide with shock. "She knew," the 3rd managed, "exactly what we were thinking, like she was inside our heads." They spoke of speed, silence, and an uncanny foresight, their arrogance utterly shattered by an encounter that defied all their expectations. A small, 3-pointed metal star lay in the gravel, partially hidden, glinting under the flashlight beam. Officer Thompson's eyes narrowed. He recognized the shape, the worn edges of an insignia rarely seen outside specific circles. He bent, picked it up, and quickly slipped it into an evidence bag. No mention of it would appear in the official report. This was for a different file, a different kind of authority. The diner soon settled back into its rhythm, but the quiet hum of normal had changed. The back alley, once a common shortcut, became a silent, avoided space. No one walked through it after dark anymore. Jenna, the senior waitress, took charge, installing a bright new LED light where the old flickering bulb had been. The alley now bathed in a steady, unwavering glow. A week later, an old man, a regular with a faded veteran's cap, spoke to Jenna at the counter. His voice was low, serious. "You understand what that star means, don't you?" he asked. Jenna admitted she didn't, the military world a mystery to her. The veteran leaned in. "It means you never, ever try to corner or threaten someone who's earned the right to wear that. If they let you see it, it's because they chose to let you know exactly who you're dealing with." His words spread fast, a quiet ripple through the small community. Even Sheriff Miller made an unscheduled stop, pulling Jenna aside. "If she ever comes back," he instructed, his voice grave, "you notify me immediately, but do not approach her. Do not try to talk about what happened." Jenna nodded, understanding. This wasn't about local law anymore. The mysterious woman had left no name, no trace beyond the 5 dazed men and that single star. But her actions, her chilling silence, her precise efficiency had spoken volumes. The community had learned a new lesson. Some individuals operate on a different level, and underestimating them based on appearance or gender carries consequences far beyond a bruised ego. The alley was now guarded by a reputation, an unseen force that needed no name, no face, no constant presence to keep it safe. Some people carry a quiet power, a depth of skill you'd never see coming. They prove that true strength doesn't need to shout. For more stories where silence hits harder than any warning and expertise speaks louder than words, subscribe to Quiet Soldier Stories.